benefit here.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
1,000%.
Okay.
I like the fact that SG can fight, and I think that's their way to win this game, is that they need to look for kills and just bring it to Liquid. Don't let Liquid farm. They have a very weak laner in Spectre, so
Watch ADR in those team
Put
fights.
pressure on.
I think that's going to be the game.
Good stuff. Thank you very much, gents. Right then, it is time for our next game, and it is time to hand you over to our commentary team for game number 3. Can the Brazilians pull off a surprise win against the world champions? Let's find out.
Thank you very much, Paul, and indeed a very, very good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Odie Pixel. I'm going to be joined by the fantastic Ben Malini-Wu for this best of 1 extravaganza between Liquid and SG. Ben, we've just seen the draft. We've just seen Miracle. We know what's going on in the draft. He's telling Kuro, he said, I want to play Spectre. The question is, has Miracle gone too far?
I don't think so. If you're going to do it versus the team, SG is the right team to do it against, but it's still a Spectre. I think anyone, if you ask anyone's opinion about Spectre, it's going to be generally fairly negative. You might be excited to see their hero, but you still think the hero is terrible. Absolutely.
It's, as we heard the stats, it's not great at the moment. A very less often picked than the majority of other cores in this patch, but Miracle, he wants to do it. The rest of the draft, of course, that Liquid have, these other 4 heroes look incredibly scary. A lot of heroes that a lot of teams at previous lands, such as Kiev, did not want to let Liquid have, or normally regretted when they did. We saw, I believe, in Kiev, Kuro getting his hands on Chen pretty much every game and winning them with quite some fashion. This man, incredibly confident on the hero.
Yeah, now they have 2 supports that you actually need to worry about a lot in the draft. So why Spectre here? Let's kind of go through what Spectre is good and bad at. She has a super long cooldown haunt. It was nerfed in the most recent change to Spectre, which is very detrimental in this sort of patch. You need an ultimate that can fight really, like, just, you know, every 2 minutes, I would say, is not ideal, but playable. Longer than 2 minutes is just, you're stretching.
I mean, absolutely. We see, I mean, in terms of heroes that do have those big cooldowns on the ultimates, sometimes in the Chinese scene, they come through.
They don't even pick Warlock and an Enigma anymore, though.
Yeah, exactly. Heroes like that, even there, have fallen off, and as you say, trying to make something work in this capacity. But maybe that goes to say something. You know, the Spectre. What kind of build are we going to see Miracle do? You know, is it going to be sort of the Radiance Rush? Is he going to go for the sort of the phase drums and sort of earlier actions stat build? I mean, what's the plan here from Liquid? You know, with the rest of their lineup, Kuro on the Chen, you know they're going to have this very strong presence in the laning stage. The panel sort of talks about whether SG are going to be able to deal with that, with these sort of defensive supports, having the Winter Wyvern. The panel didn't seem too impressed in the capabilities of this hero against the Chen's rotations. Would you sort of agree this is
not good in
hard?
rotation, but it's great in the team fight and great in anti-push. So you can't have it all. A hero can't do everything, so you have to kind of look at your biggest weaknesses of the team. Their team is pretty terrible at anti-push without the Winter Wyvern, and not particularly great at team fight without the Winter Wyvern. Like, they have bad ultimate, but it's still tough to get all that nuke damage in. So I think Winter Wyvern was a really good pick for them here. I actually think I would have preferred LC maybe as opposed to a Bat Rider. I think LC also has a lot of wave clear. He's very good versus the Beastmaster Roar, so he's kind of an all-in-one. But the Bat Rider is much more offensive and has a much better chance of catching out the Brood.
Absolutely, that catch is going to be absolutely essential. They've got good setup as well for these rotations. Obviously, with the Nyx Assassin setting up for the Mirana, could set up for some really nice mid-game global action. And we should be able to get the game underway. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for bearing with us. We did have a brief pause, but the game is underway. We should be able to cut straight into the action now as Liquid versus SG Esports gets itself underway. We'll see what the lanes are going to be as well. At the moment, Miracle looking to take himself up towards the top lane. So is this simply Liquid trying to dodge some sort of lane matchup that could be pretty bad for them to find themselves in?
Well, I think the Spectre versus Bat matchup is fine. It's not great for Spectre, but it's not awful. But I think you just want to be closer to where the Chen is going to be active so you have that threat so Spectre can actually farm. Spectre's early game is one of the weakest in the game.
30 seconds to battle.
But she will be, versus the Mirana? There's not... The lanes from SG are, like, not super strong. You're not going to get dominated in the lane. It's not like you're going to be versus Viper or anything like that. So Spectre should be able to have an okay early game, especially with the early 4-man shield.
And looking to get this matchup down bottom, obviously with these movements, you know, Matumba
so
be there against the poster. So
Yeah, it looks like the Brood. They want the Brood bottom. Brood versus Ember is actually not that bad for both sides.
But is Brood versus Bat really good?
It's not great. I would say you ideally want the Brood matchup versus Murano. Murano will just get dumpstered by the Broodlings. There's really nothing she can do that early. You don't have enough mana for Starstorm, and Starstorm doesn't even do enough damage, even if you had the mana.
And this is some very interesting stuff, of course, because Liquid, they will be putting Mind Control on the mid lane this game on the Beastmaster. And already Kuro just fending off Theo Lecor from his half of the jungle to get the wall down.
Beastmaster's right click is very, very strong at level 1.
It is, isn't it, Rob?
Yeah.
So 66 in order we have with the extra Fairy Fire, 68 right click. But how does he do it? Surely in a lane against the Ember Spirit, there's going to be a bit
for
of...
Beast.
Boy's just too beefy really to worry about.
His attack animation is really, really good. His attack speed's pretty decent for a strength hero.
Top lane.
Yeah, so...
2 missed stuns there from SG. A nice little juke, to be fair, from Miracle to dodge out the Impale from the Nyx Assassin. But could have got a little hairy for him up there. Does have the salve ready, so should be fine for now.
Yeah, he's already burned through a fair amount of range. At least he got pulled a little bit. Once he gets the poor mission again, he should be okay. But this is where Chen has to direct his efforts. However, they do have observer wards up there, so they will easily see this coming.
GH. Going in for some harassment here onto Costa Beale. They've got the Hellbear Smasher.
Why didn't he...
Getting thrown out of the dagger there. The dagger actually looks like Miracle casted it on the ground. Doesn't matter either way, because with the free pathing, he just crosses the tree line, takes the first blood.
Wow, that was a super greedy play from Rana. He sees the Hellbear running at him, and then he arrows the other...
Another creep, yeah. Oh, well.
And on top of that, like, not only is that a greedy play, you're also revealing the fact that you don't have leap. So it's... yeah. About that.
Next level plays, man. All top. Hey, here we go. It's all about the long call. They managed to turn around, look for Miracle. Miracle is tangoing up, though, looking to try and fog them. And in fact, he's going to make it. Theo Lecor can't chase that down on his own. And Bardino and Costa Beale have already been fended off by GH and Kuroki. Theo Lecor himself in trouble. The Hellbear Smasher ready to give him the clap. The Nyx Assassin just a little bit too quick. Will get himself back to safety.
The thing about it is if you trade 1 for 1, let's say Miracle did die there, you're still completely fine with that. Miracle getting first blood as Spectre, that's just not something that you really bank on in the early game. And if it does happen, you're happy about that. And he was low on HP mana anyways, whatever, just come back and harass him even more. And this Mirana is going to have an awful, awful start as a result of the Chen.
Mind Control. I mean, Theo Lecor came across trying to steal that rune upon him, but Mind Control did manage to grab it. And we'll look to trade a few hits into Theo Lecor, send him back off. Mid lane matchup as it's going so far, very even trade between the two. Adriano 14 for 2, and Mind Control just slightly ahead, 14 for 5.
Ooh, 2 points in the act. I don't see that very often. And I think Mind Control does switch it up, but in the off lane / safe lane, it's usually like a 0-3-3.
Oh, up top again, missed stuns here from Theo. Needs to make those connections if they want to have a chance at going for anything. They need that setup for the Sacred Arrow to come through from Costa Beale. Otherwise, it is going to be Liquid getting away safely every time from that top lane. CS, though, for Miracle, of course, is certainly slowed down. SG managing to keep good control in that regards and make sure that their Mirana is ahead of the Spectre's farm for now.
Maybe CS-wise. Not gold-wise, though, sadly.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, first blood.
SG do have that great observer ward. They're watching the 2 supports right now, but they are smoked. Looks like they're trying to kill the Ember before he is level 6.
Will be the dream kill here for Liquid.
Oh, he's so far up.
He is incredibly deep, Adriano. Not aware at all of this going on. Is there going to be any chance of him getting out? And indeed, as you say, still without the level 6 quite there. He's going to be surrounded. The other core coming in, maybe seeing if he could throw in a stun to help, but it's too late. Liquid get the kill, the rotation absolutely coming in at a perfect time there. Ember is down. Kuro again fighting with Theo. Was looking for the rune up top, but ends up spawning bottom. JH able to get his hands on it. Top lane, this does mean Miracle is left on his own. Arrow will connect here from Costa Beale, and him and Bardino bring him down low, but Miracle always got a stick, and it is just enough to keep him alive. Again, Miracle just playing around with him there on that top lane.
I mean, look how many resources they're throwing at the Spectre, too, and he's still not dying. And that's really bad because Brood just does whatever Brood wants on the bottom lane.
I mean, that's exactly how that lane's looking to be going as well, yeah. 35 CS at the moment on Matumba Man. Sailing ahead, the bat being no issue whatsoever as it seems. Of course, there's good farm as well on the bat, but it's not quite on par.
His tower's already down.
I mean, yeah, he's got the CS, but he hasn't managed to protect the lane.
You can try the creep skip war. Like you'll sometimes see that in one-on-one matches where both matchups creep skip. Very common versus Darkseer, but you can't really do that versus a Brood because Brood has extra summons that can tank the tower, and he doesn't even have a Bastion. Yeah, he doesn't have a Basilius on the Brood, but still able to take on that tower very early on.
Yep, this is going to be a very fast Desolator from the Timmerman, no doubts about that. He's already got the money for the first Mithril Hammer. Pretty much done.
You really don't want him to be able to take this tower down early because, like, the way Brood gets super far ahead is by farming the ancients in the early game.
Well, you can get both now, can't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to try coming across looking for him. They do have the dust.
Oh, so many spider
Yeah,
legs.
Theo just can't get close enough for the stun. He'll stun up the little babies, but he won't get the big one. The action itself is actually going to be up on the top lane where Liquid, they will get the successful gank. They move in, close down onto the Bardino Wyvern, take the kill, and Matuma, he's fine. They just can't catch him at this stage of the game. Not with having the lasso yet available on the Batrider, and without being able to close the gap on the Nyx Assassin for an initial stun. There's just no chance at catching this Brood.
Some people think that Brood should not be able to get away with a bootsless build. I think there's pretty much only 2 heroes in the game that can go bootsless. Is Broodmother and
Weaver?
Weaver, yeah, Weaver's the other one. Weaver, I mean, even then you like consider getting treads on the hero. I guess Broodmother sometimes you'll see face boots, but like he just dodged the gank while slowed by dust. Right.
Oh, Ben. New patch soon. Let's go, boys.
Are you a Brood spammer?
No.
Do you hate Brood?
No, my team does when I random it. Mid lane mind control, able to get some good pressure onto this tier 1, and there's not really anyone wants to come to this mid lane now. Mind control's pretty scary. He's halfway through level 7. He's getting all the farm that he needs. Bottom lane, Adriano's actually hanging out down here. It's a bit of a spooky place for him to be, but with the remnants, one of the only heroes really on the team that can come down here and find something without having the worry of Matuma Man just destroying them straight away. Matuma Man, 7 minutes in, and he is less than 1,000 gold away from having a Desolator. This is going to be probably one of the fastest Desos we've seen on the Broods. I don't think there's any doubt about that at this rate. And there looks to be very little intention from SG to try and stop him at this stage. They sent a couple of heroes down there. It was not a success, and looks like they're opting at not trying it again anytime soon. Top lane, again, trying to keep Miracle back from the farm. But as you say, sure, he might not be getting as the numbers in terms of CS, but with the first blood god, the fact that he's not actually dying in this lane, Liquid, they're having fun all over the map, all 3 lanes.
So AM was banned in the last. Oh no. AM was banned in the last phase, so maybe they're looking for AM substitutes that don't get counter. I think the heroes that counter AM don't really counter Spectre. For example, like Bloodseeker. Bloodseeker, I think, actually does pretty terribly versus Spectre, because Spectre is just very, very, very tanky, and you can't really man up versus him. Also, the timing of when Spectre gets really strong is a little bit later than anti-mages, so you're not really worried about the game going 50 minutes plus if you have a Spectre on your team, whereas if you have an anti-mage, the longer the game goes past 50, the more likely you are about to lose because you have too much farm. So Spectre just has a different peak and very likely to be buffed next patch, so maybe just some premature exploration.
See if they can get away with this. They're going down here with the smoke. SG sending 4 members down. They really want to try and catch Matuma Man. Adriano on the front lines. We'll see if Matuma reveals himself. The poster now closing the gap. Does dust preemptively, but it's going to be out of range of the spider. And with that already popped, unlikely that they catch him. He's just going to walk past them. The smoke's dispelled. SG find nothing. And Matuma Man, he'll just go back to farming their side of the map. He sees them all pass. He knows that area is now safe, as they've just all walked past him. Mid lane, Mind Control and Kuro having their eyes on Adriano. Mind Control, he does have the Primal Roar there. Adriano trying to duke it out there with the Remnant back down into the river, but Matuma Man's there as well. Mind Control able to close the gap. They do have Moonlight Shadow. Is there any detection on Liquid? Oh, they want a TI, but they don't have detection. They don't have it, so SG will get Adriano out there. Really nice Moonlight, saving him from imminent death.
Before that, though, the spacing from Matuma Man to like dispel the smoke and still get away safely was very well played. That's kind of exactly what you want in position 1. Is a player that is able to dodge ganks like that. That's probably one of the most important things that you can do as a carry in the first 15 minutes of the game.
Cost a bit. He's out of that. No need to mess around with Miracle.
But right now, SG just don't have that many options. Like, Spectre's actually quite tanky with Value Point and Dispersion. He doesn't have that much HP, but you have to consider that like Chen Heal is going to be there. He has dispersion, he has stick, he has he can traverse all terrain. So there's a lot of innate defensive abilities in the Spectre. So who do they actually gank right now? You want to kill either Matama Man or Broodmother.
You gotta kill. I mean,
or Spectre, but they can't kill either right now.
I mean, we're 10 minutes in. Matsuma Man, he has the Desolator on his way out. There's 200 gold away from the Blink Dagger on Mind Control, but they do have the Blink on the back.
Yeah, they really need this to work out.
They really need to do something big with that reveal.
But if you don't gank the Spectre, you have the problem of perhaps Miracle being able to turn around and haunt into the fight. So you have two global abilities that you do need to worry about if, let's say, you gank Matama Man. So, like, one person TP's in, you have Chen Heal, you have the Haunt there, suddenly what looks like an easy 3-for-1, 4-for-1 smoke, there's suddenly all these factors that you didn't lay out.
Look at this as well. This is just 10 minutes, you get the Deso on the Spider, you go into the pit with the Chen, and SG, I don't think they're going to be expecting it this early on in the game. There should be a freebie here for Liquid.
Liquid is probably one of the best teams in the world at playing keep away, like not fighting when they don't need to fight. Like they're getting so much farm around the map right now.
Oh, here we go.
In the late game.
GH should be in trouble here. He'll try and hold them back with a quick telekinesis, but the Flame Guard burns him down. And SG will get themselves on the board with regards to kills.
Sacrifice Tower and Roche for that. It's rough.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
At least you got a kill.
They got
Moral
some action.
boost, yes.
I mean, in terms of kills, it's been a slow-paced game. It's only 3-1, 11 minutes in. Obviously, the net worth is definitely the big story. 6k gold lead at the moment for Liquid, and seems to be showing no signs of stopping.
They actually want to fight right now. You can tell by Spectre's build.
Yeah.
Spectre went for Urn. So this kind of phase in the game is a little bit awkward because you have like Broodmother farming a lot, waiting. She doesn't really need BKB yet because he has the Aegis, but you're still like much stronger, so kind of want to fight. But so what does Spectre want to do? Spectre could aid the Broodmother in fighting or be in the late game insurance. It looks like he will take the former option. Looks like he's going to build a Manta too next.
Oh, I like that. Got the chains, confuse the bat a little bit. It's nice.
Yeah,
very hard
I
for
don't
them to jump on.
actually think you care if they jump the Spectre, though. I think if they jump the Spectre, they just lose the fight. But he didn't actually go for like a more tanky build, too. We'll see what he picks up later.
It's nice as well. I mean, more with the Desolator as well. You find those solo heroes on the back lines when you want them. His damage output can be pretty insane for ripping them apart.
Deso doesn't really help him as much as other heroes, though. He does a lot of pure damage. On this Spectre.
No, I'm talking about the Desolators in this skill.
Oh, Desolate. Okay, I'll take the
Come on,
Desolator.
man. No, Ben. Come on.
If he can find it.
Well, let's see if they do anything here with this Moonlight. Having the lead here is the positive. Once they find that catch with the bat, but yeah, these wards, Liquid, they know that it's coming. I mean, Miracle's still chilling. They did see this one come through. The arrow combo not quite working out, but it doesn't matter. They do end up losing Miracle, but he's going to buy back and horn in. He's angry. Miracle wants to play Dota 2, and he has managed to help take down one. He'll turn towards Leposa. They will get the bat as well. And that was the come and kill me debate from Miracle, and it seems to prove to be very effective here for the side of Liquid as they've taken down 2, make that 3, double kill for Miracle. He wanted to die all along. He'll come back in and pretty much make back the money that he had to expend. Well, not quite. A little bit of a tax there as he loses 100 net worth, but net exchange in terms of the overall goal. But it really does feel Liquid. They're starting to have a bit of fun with this man. They're playing around.
Their spacing was just a little bit off. When they were positioned around the roast, they wanted to actually pop the smoke. Because they had the observer wall right there, they wouldn't be able to see it immediately and then back off, or haunt it and immediately kill the Bat Rider. But they were actually just a tiny bit off in their position.
So they can get this here. Kuro and GH may have just stepped over a little too far here. GH is on his way home and he will make it. Kuro will make it back in a casket.
What a bro.
Very nice, G. They're slowing it down. I do like this as well. You know, they're punishing these sort of, you know, maybe where Liquid's getting a little too comfortable. You saw them come over there. They have got that ward, Liquid, on the high ground in that bottom half of the Dyer's map, but didn't end up doing them too good there. Into Mamat. For Adriana, they do have the telekinesis, and in fact with the Storm stun, it's going to be close. Does just manage to get himself out. The stick charges at the ready as well. Matuma's got a completed defusal. Oh! Hey, that's not going to save him though. He's been lassoed. They put the lasso into the stun, and with the Firefly, they will manage to pop the Aegis. Killing him a second time, that's going to be a bit of a bigger ordeal. We'll see if they attempt it. They are going to look towards him. Got the slow from the Wyvern, not quite enough. Arrow won't make the connection. Oh, Courier. Well, hang on. Someone's starting to feed the Courier there. Will be brought back just in time. Watch out, Liquid. Let's not get too carried away.
Is that why you don't play the micro heroes? Because you just accidentally feed Courier?
I mean, that's what it is, you know. When you spawn, you look back at the fountain, you just, you know, click and drag over everything, and suddenly you're trying to get the Courier to poof and throw nets at people. It doesn't work out.
Please swap me Brood every time you random him.
I'm going to GH with the blink. Oh, look at this build on the Ember Spirit. What would you got this?
Solar Crest?
Yeah.
Solar Crest is...
I mean, it's a great item.
Yeah. It solves this armor issue. That's Ember's probably biggest weakness is not having armor. You always have to just build armor, either Veil or Armor Talon or Shiva's later in the game. But he does have a lot of magic on his team, so Veil I think is still pretty good. But the evasion, I would say, is much more useful than maybe the amplified magic damage, because it does help a lot of respect. There's a lot of pure, so you want evasion. So he misses.
Yeah, I like
you want HP.
Yeah, I like the thought behind it. And well, helped out a little bit there. Throws it down onto Kuro, and they do manage to chop down the chain.
It's also really good with the Winter Wyvern. You always want a Solar or a Medallion on your team.
Oh, yeah, that's true, actually. And yeah, I guess no one else was really going to be looking to farm it up at any sort of reasonable rate on the side of SG. So yeah, he makes the call. And yeah, well, we're still waiting to see really that first big Winter's Curse. Hasn't really been a chance for it. A lot of sort of scrappy fights. Liquid split up, coming in one by one rather than as a full 5-man. Farm for Miracle. Looks like so good. He just picks up the Ashen and looks for Diffusal Blade next.
This Wyvern's going to need a lot more farm, though. You mentioned he hasn't been able to get any of his Winter's Curse, and I think that's going to continue to be a problem, because they're going to haunt, they're going to see him immediately, and then they're going to kill him. Or at least the Spectre is. Yeah. And he's going to be alone because he's going to haunt him, so Winter's Curse isn't going to really do anything. Oh, this could be a huge kill.
I was going to say, this is really nice. We've seen the poster do this a couple of times now, where he gets the opening onto Matuma Man. Matuma Man has been chained, gets healed up by the hands of God, but it's not enough. That's going to be Matuma Man down. Miracle jumped in with the haunt, but now he's the one to be chained as well. Jump forward from Costa Bill, trying to get the damage through with his boosted attack speed. Remnant in from Adriano. They're actually going to take a second here. SG. They do lose the Wyvern, as expected, as you said. As soon as the Haunt comes out, the Wyvern's dead. But SG overall getting 2 cores. Big fight and big pickoffs from the Batrider. Leposa setting up some miracles here for SG.
Very greedy build from Brood, I would say. So that's a very nice haunt. It actually tanks the arrow, so he would have been like just super dead way early on in the fight. But they have a nice set of chainstone on him, and Chen's all the way on the top side of the map. Pretty much wouldn't have made that big of a difference in the fight, because he would have probably just helped kill his teammates with a curse. So not that big of a deal, but Liquid have to be very careful not to feed away their super high net worth heroes. Yeah. They also got like 1 free death because of the Aegis before, and if they don't get this next Aegis, I could see them potentially being in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, SG really stepping things up. The money's starting to flow in for Adriana as he works towards both the Radiance and the Boots of Travel. The other core already hot on the case for more action.
He usually goes mask pretty early on. The Diffusal Blade, very common pickup versus the Ember. Very common pickup in general, but especially versus the Ember to purge off his shield so you can actually kill him.
Look at this down bottom. Looks like they may have... They did have eyes on the Beastmaster. Back away.
22% passive gold. Nice.
That's strong, man.
Well played.
Very skilled part of the game there. Collecting the passive.
And not losing.
Exactly.
Not dying is hard, Owen. That's one of the hardest parts about this game.
It is.
So Roche is up. I would say daytime is much better for them than nighttime. Like nighttime, everyone's about on even foot, but daytime, because they usually have the Batrider out in front, I think they can actually like haunt in or disable his blink before he can actually get a jump. But as you know that they need to make a move before the next Roche, because if Liquid get the next Roche, they're going to buy enough time for Brood to get BKB, in which the fights will be a lot different than the way we just see.
To try there with the Moonlight Shadow to make something happen. They scan as well, but didn't quite catch Liquid. Liquid themselves in the high ground. They've got the vision on Theodore. Came in for a bit of a scout. A quick jump in from GH. That telekinesis, making sure that there's no chance Theo to react. I think Assassin is gone, and with one man down, unlikely that SG will look to force anything for at least those 20 seconds. Once they're just a 4-man, they need the full 5-man ready to tackle any sort of attempt at a fight with Liquid. And not where Adriano wanted to run, who jumped into the mid lane. At the back of that, they're gonna lose a few more. Bodino trying to hold them back with the Winter's Curse, but Miracle simply walks around the back lines of it. They'll lose the Wyvern. Little mistakes like that you cannot afford to pull off in front of Liquid. They will punish them very quickly and incredibly effectively.
They're playing very well around the road. Like, they're not actually taking it or playing inside the pit. They just know that SG can't allow them to take it. So what do? Just sit around the pit with better vision, more sentries, and just jump whomever comes close by. I also think the Solar Crest is much better for like trying to focus down heroes, but they haven't really gotten to that point yet. We haven't really seen the Wyverns affect this game at all.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, maybe Spectre is a pretty good pick for the Wyvern though.
Yeah, I mean, Miracle seems to stay on a lovely time. Has got down a couple, but his involvements in the fights have been absolutely top stuff. 4-2-4, 8 of the 10 kills he's been about for, and the farm continues to roll as well. You've got to remember they did start him on that aggressive lane against SG's tri lane.
Yeah, that's super unusual in by itself. Normally you only see it with a Lich, but it was like a big Spectre tri lane.
GH trying to go in here with the Stolen Remnant spam. Will manage to steal the Vendetta, and with the Roar, they'll turn around and take Theo. Poster does try for the jumping, get the lasso into the arrow. Have they got the damage to bring him down? No. He's back home safe and sound. It's to Kuro. Now the rest of them trying to escape. The Poster is not getting away from this spooky, scary spider. Matuma Man with the Diffusal Blade. In fact, he may not be done.
Again, look at the...
He wants to go for more potentially here. Bardino slowed as well, trapped with the spiders. Double kill for Matuma.
Well, again, look at what they're doing. It's just playing around the Roche with superior vision and just letting, someone sacrifice. It was supposed to be Rubik who sacrificed, but GH kind of outplayed his way out of that. And now SG, they're going to have to deal with Aegis Cheese on Matuma Man, who already does a ton of damage. He built a fairly glass cannon build with the mask and Dezo and the Diffusal. No HP items, no defensive at all. Really good payoff now.
Having the Aegis, and not only that, but being more than halfway, well, yeah, more than halfway towards the BKB. That's a lot of scary items to have on a spider, and SG, question is if they were ready to deal with it. They do have lockdown through the BKB, but again, it's really sort of the damage that's the issue, and also the constant threat of Kuro being able to send people back to safety.
They need the Radiance like really, really soon, because this Aegis could do a lot of structural damage, but he's still about 2,000-3,000.
This is what they get away with it. Cole cost a bit, goes in, jumps out, mind control, actually cancelled his TP here. And for that, he's going to be caught out. They'll come into the trees, and they will catch him. Did pop the bots, but immediately decided to stick around in the neighborhood, and it does cost him his life. SG pick up the kill. They drop a scan just to make sure there wasn't any other members of Liquid in the neighborhood, but it was a total freebie. Liquid themselves were putting some pressure on mid. Nowhere near Mind Control's Beastmaster.
Wonder what made him cancel his TP. What possessed him to do so? I didn't actually see where he was TPing to. When it just
I didn't see where he was TPing to be fair now. Go up top from GH, manages to get the catch onto Adriano. Quick sided change to dodge the initial stun from Kuro's creeps, and Adriano gets himself out. Dialacor as well, starting to get out of there with the Moonlight Shadow. He will survive. Can SG re-engage on this? This would be ideal for the side if they can. They'll look towards Kuro. The arrow doesn't hit Chen, but it hits the bigger target. Gets Matuma Man. Theo with the follow-up. Have they got the damage? Well, with 5 heroes here, they sure have. They'll take him down once. Mind Controls come in, and with the Haunt from Miracle, things could potentially start to get scary here for SG. They're on the retreat, trying to get out of this one. The Poster's going to be the first to fall. Chains hold back the spider, but SG, they're being slowed up incredibly by this dagger and search for Miracle. They'll look to Remnant out. up to the safety of the high ground. Is he actually going to be that safe at all, though? Miracle's just diving, chasing them past the tier 3, picks up the double as he takes down Bardino. Will give a little bit of mercy to Adriano and Costabile as they'll get back to base. But again, as we saw, so hard for SG, even in a position there where in most games that would have been a great time to go back in. But when there's a Spectre in the game, things get a little bit different.
Yeah, the curse had to be blown very, very early on. He actually just used it on a Haunt illusion just to buy himself some more time. However, that thing's not very tanky, so the curse isn't actually going to last that long. Still, Matoma Man does need his BKB. They're not able to really get what they want to out of these fights simply because he just dies going in. Very easy to lock him down or prevent him from attacking, prevent him from life stealing. But once he does get BKB, he's still going to have to worry about the Winter's Curse. At least Murata's getting there too. One for a Maelstrom, usually Sleep Diffusal, but versus this massive amount of summons, I think you want more AoE, either the Scepter build or the Maelstrom build.
Yeah, interesting. I was actually looking back at actually the way that Costabile plays. I don't think he actually builds Diffusal that much. He normally sort of opts for the Manta, Maelstrom, Lincolns, Dragon Lance.
It's more old school.
Yeah. Here we go, Miracle. Would be a dream catch for SG. Now I'm going to position around this top tier 1.
They might catch.
Oh, there is a double damage rune on this Spectre. Not something that they would really want to mess around with.
This is a really good time to take a fight too. Spectre's Haunt is down. There's no Aegis on the Brood Mother. This is a really good time for them to hit. However, the BKB is up on.
He is.
See that now?
An incredible threat.
But they also notice that he doesn't have a TP scroll, so they know that they still have a decent amount of time to push. If they would like, or take a fight on this side of the map because they know their main damage source isn't actually going to be there.
We'll see how much they can do with that information. We do nearly have the Radiance on Adriano. He has the Relic. He was just a few hundred gold away from the recipe, and still just a couple of hundred gold, and the Radiance will be done for the Ember Spirit. Liquid ready to go once again down bottom. Maybe even threaten the high ground. Bardino, he heads forward. And he's quickly sent backward there. Liquid jump on him immediately, and now they're ready to try and break the base. They did pop Haunt for that, nonetheless, but it brings Miracle into a position where he's able to help with the siege onto the high ground. Jump forward from the poster, gets the lasso, but a quick telekinesis from GH holds him in place. But Tumberman's going to be fine. The bat is not. Laposa down. SG lose 2. Now Matumba, he's ready to dive in deep. Pops the BKB, doesn't give a damn about the Spike Carapace. The arrow will hold back Miracle. The buybacks do come out from SG, but they've already lost the tier 3. This huge onslaught of animals being sent down this bottom lane, clean up the melee racks. As SG, despite the buybacks, are unable to keep their base intact on the bottom.
Yeah, things just fell apart really quickly for them.
18k gold lead, 19k in fact now for Team Liquid. Looking incredibly rough for SG. They had some nice little plays this game, but overall it really has been Liquid just putting on a clinic, showing us the Liquid we've come to see before TI, at TI, and after TI.
Their tower hitters are also really terrible on the side of SG. They have to 5-man a lot because of Haunt, but they're going to lose out on a lot of farm and split pushing and pushing out lanes as a result.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, he's really fat. He also went
absolutely is.
Probably one of the greatest builds you could possibly go on Brood.
I mean, yeah. Deso, Diffusal.
And then Mask. And then BK.
And then he goes. Okay. And he's got level 2 Diffusal Blade as well. And they're in the neighborhood. I mean, Matumba, he can put that BKB and kill any of these pretty much.
No need to take that risk without Haunt, though.
Sure. He probably, I mean, Hospital's looking pretty tasty. Go on. He wants to do it. He's just going to go in, opens up. There's a shrine. It doesn't matter. Oh, okay. Bardino will live. Matuma Man gave him the walk away. They're not committing for the final touch. And on that, they won't find a kill. Not a lot was committed, though, of course, by Liquid. So not really too much of an issue for them. Not finding the quick and easy kills that Matuma Man was hoping for.
Good restraint, though.
Dire's top shrine is under attack.
The vision down.
Yeah, they just need to take it easy and slow, fight with their PKBs up, fight when their ultimates are up, or just fight with the next Aegis. So This Shrine's dead, and SG are really hard pressed to do anything right now. I guess they do have the Radiance up on the Ember, but that's about it.
See what they can do with their resources, but here's the jump in already. Immediately everything thrown onto the Wyvern. That'll be Bardino down. Leposa trying to get away. Miracle hot on the chase. Leposa trying to get up on the high ground to escape this, but just get the lasso off. Doesn't matter though. Too much damage being kicked out from the Spectre. They do turn, get the arrow connection. Hand of God comes through. It's enough to keep Miracle alive. SG just cannot find the trades. Yellowcore himself does get the stun, but he has to run. That's all he can do. There's no hiding from this man. Mind Control will chase him. Gets out the Spike Carapace. Mid lane though, Matumba does decide to feed away his life. He's down for 80 seconds. I mean, that is a huge kill for SG. Questionable whether it matters in the grand scheme of things, but it's a big kill nonetheless.
Who got that?
I think it was split.
Oh, split. It's perfect.
That's good. A little bit of money for both of the cores, but
They just need better high ground defense. Like this Wyvern just dies immediately at the start of the fight. This is why I'm saying he just needs more items. Ideally, I would say a Glimmer Cape, because Spectres just generally don't have enough item slots to carry does. And Glimmer Cape plus Cold Embrace, a pretty nice combo for him.
But he has got the defusal.
Yeah.
If he's quick with that. Oh, top of the raw. Does he want to chase? Does he want to play? Can he? That's the question. Doesn't look like he can. Mind Control's already out. Fool me on it. Complete for the Mirana. Now top. Control and GH. Just to be a bit careful as the poster is ready to hunt.
There's so many summons though to worry about that are just keeping their eyes on him. Beastmaster Hawks, Boars, Chen Kriegs, Broodlings.
But on the other half, and that's more money on the map for SG. There are positives.
A bit. Ever the optimist.
Back to base they go. SG very much waiting for Liquid to make the move, to make the misstep. And they can punish GH.
He is ridiculous.
600 gold away from a completed Aghanim Scepter.
And Kuro plays this way more defensive Chen too. Notice he's had like a lot of cheese sendbacks too. SG will probably be, what, 13, 14 kills right now if it weren't for some of the sendbacks. So he's sacrificing his net worth to boost up his others.
Here we go. The wraparounds there from Liquid. They've got a good angle. GH jumping in with the telekinesis to set up into the stolen stun. Costa Bill held in place. Winter's Curse trying to buy him time, but Miracle pops the BKB. Jumps forward with the horn. They've found the Mirana. They're looking for more once again. Bardino in trouble. Does Cold Embrace himself. It doesn't matter though. The damage still cuts him out from the Desolate. And Leposa, he is none the luckier as a third member drops once again on SG. Unable to scratch Liquid's lineup at all. 21k gold lead. The slaughter just continuing.
Just way too much vision in the fights. Night Stalker is generally the counter rounder, just so he can't initiate the fight. But this game, there's just so many more things to deal with than a simple darkness, including the haunt and all the stuff. There's just no, like I would actually say that the Bat Rider played pretty good mid game. He got a lot of key jumps.
He did. Get some good jumps on the Timber Man.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
But then after that, if Liquid just take a breath, relax a little bit, spread out their summons, and play properly, then it should just end up in a really swift, easy push for them.
No surprises there at all, as GG is called. Liquid will take down SG in this best of one, and pretty much in the expected fashion as well. This was the Liquid that we've come to know oh so well, giving us this just perfect performance of Dota. They know the lanes, they know the game. Kuro